Hey everybody, welcome back. This is DS Yvonne at reprogrammingmind.com, and my videos have been receiving quite a few questions and comments regarding meditation, in particular asking what's the best meditation and what meditation is the best for heart coherence. And I think that's kind of a difficult question. It's like asking what's the best color. I mean, it really all depends. And on top of that, there's also more involved with that because there's different purposes for each meditation. But in any case, I think the best person to be giving an answer on that is probably Joe Dispenza. So, Dr. Joe Dispenza, what is the best meditation? What's the best one for heart coherence?
Well, I don't uh, subscribe to any particular practice of meditation that goes along with tradition or culture or religion. I take what works from a scientific standpoint. And so we have several different meditations that we do use. And those meditations are designed specifically for a person to get beyond themselves. And then once they get beyond themselves, to begin to change the way they think and to change the way they feel. So we probably have, I don't know, maybe 25 different meditations that are designed to create more coherence in the brain, to create more coherence in the heart, to create a new future, to signal new genes in new ways. Um, to change a belief or a perception, to tune into a possibility that already exists in the quantum field, to activate the pineal gland. I mean, we just have a lot of different meditations, but I don't subscribe to any one particular belief or traditional practice, because I just take, for the most part, what works, and I just keep building a model from it. So I think if you just go to the website and you check it out, you'll probably come across one that will fit for you.
All right, terrific. Now, another question that comes up a lot is how long does it take to change? And I've had comments talking about people who've been meditating for quite some time and they haven't received results yet, and they're still frustrated about that lack of results. So, how long would you say is the normal or average amount of time frame, if you could, for being able to notice and create transformation?
Well, I've changed my beliefs and thoughts about it significantly, just because, I mean, we've witnessed so many amazing things. I have seen people transform in one experience. I mean, they have an inward experience that's more profound than any external experience they've ever had in their life, and as I talked about earlier. So there's a lot of variables. I think new neural pathways can be created in 21 days. I think they can be created in a short amount of time, and sometimes it takes a longer amount of time. Hell, it's taken me sometimes months to be able to change something about myself, because it requires how present you are, how well you can regulate and change your brainwaves, how, how long you meditate, your focus and your concentration, and it just your downright ability to be able to sustain a state. So there's so many variables involved that it's difficult to lock in a time frame. But I think that people who even spend 20 minutes a day in meditation, me, I spend more than that because I like it. I like the way I feel when I do it. I never like to get up from my meditation until I feel like the person I want to be. And some days it's easier than others, and other days it takes me a lot of effort. But the key is that I know when I'm there and I know when I'm not. And I typically don't get up, even if it takes me an hour or more, until I've gotten beyond myself. And so the technology that we use and the teaching tools that we use allow people really to practice with a 20-minute meditation or an hour meditation or an hour and 20-minute meditation or a 45-minute meditation. To me, it's just like anything else. If you're present and you're aware and you're conscious and you're all in and your energy is right, it will be easier than if you're laying down in bed and you're half into it. It doesn't work, because you'll fall asleep, or you're not present, or you're distracted, and I think there's just too many variables. But we know in some of the work we've done is that I've been more surprised, I think, than anybody. We've seen it happen in just a day or two in some of our advanced workshops, because people come ready, and we're in and out of meditation all day long, and I'm attempting to move a community of people from one state of mind into another state of mind, and really just get them to believe in how unlimited they are. And um, boy, a lot of people lock into that. So it could happen in 4 days. It just depends on a lot of different variables. But you can meditate as much as you want. It's just that for me, the time isn't as important as the quality in which you do it.
And another question that comes up a lot is what's that meditation experience like? So, how do you know when you're really connecting to the heart? How do you know when you've got that relationship going on between the heart and the brain that really allows that coherent signal to be broadcast?
So let's say what it's not. How's that? Because once you realize what most people do, and look, people wake up in the morning. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. That's the law. So you wake up in the morning, you start thinking about the emails you have to check, and the shopping you have to do, and the meetings you have at work, and the people you have to respond to in your texts, and the places you have to go. The moment you start that process, your body's being drawn into that future because that's where your attention and your energy is. If your attention and your energy is in the past and you're feeling discouraged or unhappy or unworthy, then if your attention is on your emotions, then your energy is in the past. So then finding the sweet spot of the generous present moment is a labor that requires you becoming conscious of when you're not present. So people, when they're sitting and doing their meditation, they're thinking about their coffee. When they're drinking their coffee, they're thinking about their shower. When they're in the shower, they're thinking about what they're going to get dressed, what they're going to wear. When they're getting dressed, they're thinking about the emails they have to check. When they're driving to work, they're thinking about the things they have to do at work. When they're at work, they're thinking about vacation. When they're on vacation, they're thinking about work. No one's ever in the present moment. So when you connect to the present moment, you will forget that you have a body. You won't have any attention on your body. You won't be emotional. You won't be frustrated. You won't be wanting to get up and do anything. You won't be caught up in an analytical cycle. And the distinction between when you're there and when you're not is the practice in and of itself. So you can only talk around that concept because you have to actually practice it enough times. So I know when I'm not present. And because I know when I'm not present, I know when I am present. And when I am present, it's no different than hitting a tennis ball in a sweet spot. I'm relaxed, I'm poised, I'm connected, my breathing's slowed down, I'm feeling whole, I'm feeling empowered, I'm feeling joyful, I'm feeling free. And that's the moment my body finally relaxes into the present moment. So then when it starts thinking about where it has to go, or what it has to do, and I become aware of it and I return it back to the present moment, I'm tempering the animal. I'm tempering the body. Then it starts getting emotional and frustrated and impatient. Now I know I'm in the past. My brain waves are going into beta, high beta. I stop. I return back to the present moment. I'm training an animal to sit and to stay. And if I keep doing that, sooner or later, there's a liberation of energy. That's the best way I could describe it. We go from particle to wave. We go from matter to energy. And when that occurs, you feel less separate and more connected to something bigger than you. And the side effect of that is that wholeness that I'm talking about. You start feeling more whole or more in love with life. And I call that the natural state of being. So all the things you thought you wanted, when you finally arrive at this place, you no longer want because you feel like you already have them. That's when you're no longer in lack or duality or separation. So I think it's something that we talk around, and I think the application of doing it enough times causes us to know when we're there and when we're not. And I think, many people, they don't want to work that hard to find the present moment, and so because they don't work that hard for it, they're not really present. And it's a skill. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. And if where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and you have a lot of attention in the present moment, you have a lot of energy in the present moment. You have a lot of energy in the present moment, then you got a lot of energy to heal. You got a lot of energy to create a new future. You have a lot of energy for a mystical experience. And we've measured the energy field around people's bodies, and of course they're emitting more information. They're emitting more light. They're they're more wave, they're more energy and less matter, and of course, they feel more alive, they feel more vital, they feel more free. It's just that elevated state that I think words limit to some degree.